Hello, my loves. All right, transmission time. The vision that I have is like when the world stands still, that's where we are. It is so peaceful and so still and so like you can feel the contraction of every breath, of every release, of every letting go in every single moment. The awareness, the intention, the clarity. It's magnificent. We had a big storm last night, a lot of hail, and it was like this cloud moving harmoniously with the lightning in it, and I recorded it, and it looked exactly like a cloud from my dream that was a spaceship. And I remember in my dream going, y'all don't see this? Like, look, it's right there. You can see the outline, you can see the edges. I think this one in particular, I could even see the etching and the symbols all over it. And that was several weeks ago. And so watching it last night and feeling this total and utter stillness, and realizing for myself personally, I'm so thankful. I am so thankful that I've done the work. I am so grateful that I get to teach the work now, because God knows it's not easy. And if you're watching this and you want to exist in a high frequency playing field, the only way to truly do it without just dipping in and getting tastes of it is to come to flatline. And the only way to do that is to go into the integration and pull it back up every single time. And we're consistently doing that, weaving and orchestrating until the Hara line is united. It's united. There's no separation. And grateful now that I've done the work, because every time I allowed myself to sit in silence and to sit in peace, pain within me would reveal itself. But that was the only way that I could do it, was to stop running. I had to sit still. I had to be present with whatever it is. And I will try to collaborate a video, because I've been trying to be very forthcoming with the way that this has looked for me, just to help anybody that's watching this. It's not the prettiest, but the pain that we're releasing is an extraction of something that we've carried for far too long. Sometimes it's generations, sometimes it's lineages of time that we're releasing and letting go. And it feels like it is attached to your body and then pulling it out of your body. And sometimes you may see visions. I have had several clients that say they can see a shadow leaving their body, or they feel pain in certain areas of their body, and they have to breathe and relax and kind of surrender into this without fighting it. And that takes awareness as well. But it feels like this extraction that we're removing something. And by removing something, I've talked about it multiple times in my videos, we're creating space within. And then when we create space within, more of our true self can come to life. We reveal the revelation more of our true self, our true identity, our true innate gifts. Not to get too weirdly wordy, but it's I just had a text come through. It's quite gorgeous. And so what we're seeing being played out right now is everyone wanting to run, and you just can't run anymore. And you're finding yourselves in the place that you have chosen, because you have also chosen to not sit with your truth and your truth. That's it. And being honest with yourself. That's really all this is. And I know I've talked about it so many times, but I can't simplify it enough. It's just about the honesty of how we really feel without feeling burdened of carrying it. And it's such a glorious thing. There were so many times during my journey where I would just cry and scream to the heavens, why am I going through this? Why do you want me to feel this right now? Is this the intention, was to go through this massive heartbreak again and again and again and again and again? And I realized that that heartbreak was that opening every single time to release stored emotion, to release trapped, stuck energy, and honestly, to get back to the sacred sexual embodiment of purity divine. It is to get back to the sacred pearl, the sacred diamond, the sacredness of the center of who we are at the core. And in doing so, we must reveal everything. Is there anything else that we need to say or discuss? So I would remind you, allow yourself to sit with the pain. Just allow it and see what surfaces. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Yes, you will have some, it almost looks like past life regressions. It looks like a past life. And this is just for me, so it could be different for everybody. I'm just giving you my examples, so maybe you're not so freaked out or weirded out when it might happen to you. And like I said, everyone experiences releasing differently. And so I asked that my releases be with grace and with ease. And thankfully, in the beginning stages of my recollection, my revelations, my remembering, some of the tests came in with vengeance. Like, they came in harsh, but I knew they were also a test. I knew it was revealing something to me. I knew it was strengthening something within. And so I began to ask that each lesson come with clarity and ease and grace. And so that's when I kind of started calling in ease and grace and working with grace. And then, but every time I would have, it would feel like full body shakes. I could feel this almost rumbling of like a volcano eruption or a tidal wave moving through my body. And I knew in that moment, or it was like an uncomfortable, anxious feeling where I'm like, okay, something is stirring today. And if you can think about emotions stirring in your body, what that might feel like. And I would ask you to sit with that question and see what comes up for you, so that the next time you feel that anxiousness, that feeling of like, oh crap, here we go, I would ask that you just honor it and say, okay, I would love to release this with tenderness today. And like I said, sometimes it is ugly, and beautiful all at the same time. But when I say ugly, it's like the most raw cry session that you've ever had, but you allow it. You open yourself up to feel and to release and to move through this scar with the tears that nurture like a balm, and come out on the other end where you can look back and say, wow, I learned so much through that. I didn't have to run from it. I didn't have to avoid it. There was nothing to be afraid of. And really sitting in those spaces. So yeah, it looked like memories flashing all around for several of the clarity, the clearings. And then sometimes it was just body shaking, like my body would shake so intensely. And I knew, and simultaneous crying. And sometimes it would hit where I was at the gym, and sometimes I would just have to move to a different location, or I would just kind of go into like a crunch down posture. Like, honestly, like if I was doing something and I would kind of just squat down, and like I'm breathing heavy, but also there could be tears dropping out of my eyes, where I'm just like breathing in the moment. Don't run from it. Don't try to escape it. Just be with it. Just being with that peace and that space. And just allow yourself to go there. And you could even set up some nourishing time for your body, whether that is a nap, whether that, and when you take the nap, set the intention to have your soul reveal whatever it is you're ready for. That's the easiest way. Ask and it is given. And just be mindful. I would ask that you don't get frustrated in the storm when you're feeling it within and say something that you don't mean, because we're in this space of the harmonizations of the frequency field where everything we say, we think is coming to life. And so if we can be extremely precision point clear on what we're saying and the words that we're speaking, the definitions of the words that we're speaking, the thoughts that are going on in our mind. And if a thought form begins to articulate itself and you're like, oh no, I don't want that one to take place, I would like to soften that. It's just this beautiful inner dialogue where you really get to know and to nourish and to care for yourself and start developing practices on what that might look like. Mine, for example, are my writing. I love, honestly, building within by Jen, and the practices that I have learned through this made me realize that everything my soul was asking me to face was giving me more tools and giving me more practices to help grow and expand my essence, my being, and being in this space with calm, clarity, strength, authority, divinity. And so I would just encourage you to don't shy away from the work. The work that your soul is asking you to do is going to help you. It's so beneficial. And so I love to read my artwork. I love getting into my art pieces. I don't know if you can see that one. I've added a couple little, like when the light shines and you see the little glares. My movement, my flow movement, my gardening. I go take walks in nature. I allow time for my soul to find rest, my soul to find peace. And in that space of peace and rest and silence and stillness, the truth reveals itself. And it's so beautiful because it is the opportunity to release and to let go and then to create space within your vessel and to call in alive something new. And I think I am going to end it there. I'm going to have some yogurt with blueberries, flax and chai seeds with some chopped cashews and drizzled with honey. And I'm going to work on some art pieces. So I love you very much. It's an honor, a blessing to be here and to be of service. All of my offerings are on my website, withinbyjen.com. If you have any questions about my art, please send me a message. I have several of them on my website. Not all of them are loaded or up yet, but that is a work in progress. And I have 3 new pieces that we're doing an art showing, but if they don't sell, they will go up on the website. So I love you very much. And it's within you. It's within each and every one of us. It always has been. We are the diamond. We are the pearl. We are the gift. We are it. We are pure reflections of God divine in human form, here to experience the joys and the radiance of life when we allow. The allowance is key. So I love you. I'll see you guys in the next video.